Good afternoon, good day, good morning. This is Roger Roadside saying hello. Hello. HMOs. HMO Fiasco. Listen, I worked in real estate for some time here in the sunny UK. You can see it's another sunny morning here. And I'll tell you now, when I started working in real estate, there were a couple of things that I didn't know. One thing that I'd never heard of was HMO. And for anyone who doesn't know what a HMO is, it's from memory, it's been a while since I've been in real estate. I think it's a house of multiple occupants, which essentially means if you've ever seen, take a house like this one on the left, the brown one, right? It looks like it's a potential, 3-bedroom, up and downstairs. It's probably got a living room, a dining room, and a kitchen. Now, if I was a property developer, aka someone that had a little bit of money that wanted to rape the nation, I could buy that house. I could then convert the two spaces downstairs, the living room and the dining room, into 2 bedrooms. I could wall them off. Essentially all you need is a little common area, and that common area could just be the kitchen. And then you've got 3 bedrooms up the top. Suddenly you've got a 5-bedroom property. You've converted a 2-bed. And look, some of them even go further than that, depending on the size of the footprint of the house. Some of them change a 3-bedroom into a 6-bedroom. You can just divide some bedrooms up, and rather than them being double-sized bedrooms, they suddenly just become 2 singles. And the whole purpose of it is to try to squeeze as many strangers who have most likely either come here illegally or have come here and managed to legally get some sort of visa, which is not terribly difficult in this current day and age because we have an open door policy. So as long as you know someone who can tick the right boxes and help you fill in the right form and be your translator and be able to facilitate the thousands of pounds that you need to do every time you get a visa approved and stuff like that. I wonder where that money goes or who that money goes to. But then you can become an immigrant. You can become able to sort of live and work over here, even though you're not going to work over here really, unless you're going to work shoddily or for your uncle's business and get paid cash in hand and probably still claim benefits. I mean, you coming in anyway. Long story short, HMOs are designed. The reason they exist is to try to house as many non-Brits as possible. It's not for British people. It's not for Indigenous people. It's not. We don't have enough houses for all the British kids who want to come and live in London so they can, get a graduate job at a high-flying business. And there's not enough houses, not enough places here for them to stay. So let's do the smart thing and maybe put a couple of them together and we'll put a Nintendo 64 in the front room so they can have a bit of entertainment and a bottle of Bucks Fizz every morning and they'll have a great old time. It's not that. Not that, I don't know where I was going with that really, but it's not that that's an amazing thing, but it's literally just to cram into society, into communities, into villages, into rural towns, anywhere really, where you can cram as many immigrants in as possible. And I would argue, and I would be very much surprised if over 80% of those who go on to live in HMOs have a good grasp of English. Now, I appreciate that's a broad, sweeping statement, but I having seen a lot of HMOs and seen a lot of the finished products and seen a lot of the tenants that have gone into them, I say tenants loosely, in my experience, the percentage is higher. I'm trying to be a little bit erring on the side of caution. But anyway, long story short, that's what a HMO is. That's what it does. And I'd never been privy to what a HMO. We don't have HMO. Well, we didn't have HMOs in Australia when I was over there. When I was there, and I remember I didn't leave Australia when I was like 20 or so. I left Australia in my mid-30s. So we never had HMOs. I didn't know what the hell they were, but I would constantly get these calls from these property developers, which I put in quotation marks, asking about the size, wanting basically the cheapest property that they could, but with the biggest footprints. And it didn't matter where it was. Didn't have to be close to train stations. Didn't have to be close to shops or anything like that. Didn't have to have a garden. Didn't matter. The only requirement was as big as possible for as cheaply as possible. And lo and behold, you then go to find out why these people are doing it. And it's obviously the reason I bring it up today is it's recently come to light, and it's getting a little bit more traction in the newspapers and in the news circles. Exactly what's on offer from councils, from government. Basically, our government is promising and offering property developers, again in quotation marks, 5 years of guaranteed rent. 5 years of guaranteed rent, and not just at market value. No, because that would be silly. They don't want a chance to miss out, do they? So they're happy to offer between 3 to 5 times the market value. 3 to 5 times the market value. What does that do, people? Oh, do you not think that as soon as someone agrees to rent out their property to someone, it obviously gets put on the books, and that then goes on to the systems and what a 5-bedroom house is getting for rent? What do you think that does for the rest of the places in that area? It drives up the prices. So therefore, not only is it bad for everyone else who's trying to legitimately look for a house, and someone who's actually got a job, who actually needs to perhaps live somewhere relatively close to work, or at least have close transport links, and essentially just looking for a roof over their head so that they can contribute to society. It drives up the rental market for them, because from a landlord's perspective, why would I rent out my house for, I don't know, £1,000 a month? Why would I rent it out for £1,000 a month when I could rent it out for £3,000 a month? And not just the guaranteed rent and the massive rental amount. And no, it doesn't stop there. But wait, there's more. We'll give you a free set of steak knives, essentially. No, the government also are willing and happy to offer regular. I think it's yearly, but I could be wrong. But I know it's pretty much. I know it's pretty regular. Replacement of furniture and appliances, and cover any repairs needed throughout the course of the rental agreement, which is massive. So from a landlord's perspective, if you put aside the fact that it's sheer parasital, I don't give a shit about this country, I'm going to take this offer sort of mentality, like you have to be a dog. Yeah, you have to be a slimy fucking prick to take a HMO offer, because basically you're saying you don't give a shit about the country, you don't give a shit about the state of the country, you don't give a shit about the people that are in the community, you don't give a shit about the people that are in the town. For all you care about is that money going into your account. You're a prick. That's essentially what you are. If you are someone who accepts a HMO agreement, you are a C word. You are the biggest C word ever around. Because you don't care. You don't care about anyone else. You don't care about anyone else other than yourself. You don't care that, you know, if you go on to, well, I'm sure you probably do go on to spawn many children because you could probably afford it because you're getting 3 times the market value. So, but you don't care that your kids, you know, when they grow up, they'll find it difficult to get on the housing market because the housing market's just absolutely F-bombed because of C country units like you have destroyed it. You know, you've what's the word, when you've allowed to, you've facilitated, you've allowed this government and even the government before that, because let's not kid ourselves, HMOs were being offered before this government came into power as well, so it's not just a Labour thing, but you are enabling the politicians in bringing over as many people as possible under the guise of diversity is strength, and under the guise of you know, diversity is equality, and we need that within society. We don't. We don't. We've got enough. We've had enough for decades. There's never been one time since I've been alive where, whether it be in Melbourne, whether it be in London, whether it be in any major city, where I've gone more than, I don't know, 5 minutes without seeing someone of a different race or nationality to me. Never. But anyway, long story short, that's what a HMO is. You know, property developers are greedy, flipping countries, and you know, I say countries. You obviously take out the RIES. I had to think about that for a second. And you know, essentially, what it's doing is it's putting. And the other thing you've got to factor in is that it's not like these are a family. It's not like this is a family of people. These will be 5, 6, 7, 8 individuals that don't know each other. That, you know, all they've got is a single room, and that room is probably, you know, quite small. They've got a communal kitchen between the 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. And they're living in a house that they don't care about, that's taken care of, that if they scuff anything, or if they mark anything, or if anything breaks, the government just go, oh, sorry, here you go, here's a new kettle. Oh, you put your fist through the wall, did you? Oh, no worries, let's pay to fix that one. Jono, how much are you quoting to fix a wall? £4,000? Oh yeah, that sounds reasonable. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, Jono, thank you, there you go, there's £4,000, thank you for fixing the wall. It's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And look, I don't know. I think that the whole HMO thing for me needs to be fucking scrapped. That the whole thing needs to be gotten rid of. There's no way that you can present that a functioning society and a thriving society is ever going to get away with the fact of having that sort of system in place. That, you know, it breeds, you know, again, I've said this before, but the one thing that Sir Keir Starmer actually said that rings true is it breeds a nation of strangers, and it absolutely destroys the housing market, both the rental market and the housing market as well. Because, you see, the thing is as well is, you know, a decade ago, you would have some people that would potentially take on a project, or, you know, maybe their budget couldn't afford a brand new spanking house. So in order to get a 3-bedroom house or something, maybe they needed to find something that did need a little bit of work. So their budget would go towards that. But now you've got property developers that are going towards those properties and going, okay, yeah, the property needs a little bit of work. It doesn't matter because I'm going to gut it anyway. It's just, you know, it's a good size. What have you got it on for? I've got it on for 300,000. Oh yeah, no worries. I'll offer you 350 because I know that I'm going to get 5 years of guaranteed 3 to 5 times rental market. Like, it's just, people don't understand, or people just don't get the fact that we're so stuffed. And look, I know that sometimes I feel like I talk about it and I just feel like I'm just, oh, Roger, you're just the doomsday sayer, and you're negative. Well, do HMOs exist? Yes or no? How many HMOs are there within the UK? I'll never bloody tell you. I'll tell you that for real. But I'll tell you, as someone who worked in property for a good number of years, there are a bloody lot, and there are a bloody lot of property developers, in quotation marks, looking for properties. And that was, I worked in property about 3 years ago. So this is not a new thing. I know it's just getting into the newspapers and getting into the news, but I've been saying this for many, many years. HMOs aren't a good thing, and they're not a good thing at all. So listen, and you know what? The other sad thing, and I've seen it time and time again. I've seen people who, and I've spoken to people who are desperate to get rid of their house because, 2 or 3 doors down they've set up a HMO down there, and there's music late at night. There's people hanging around all the time. There's they're more than likely people that don't have jobs, they're people that don't have responsibilities. So as soon as a HMO is anywhere within, 200 metres, 300 metres of your property, you've instantly lost about 30 to 40k of value in your property by far, easily, if not more, depending on what your property is. If you've got a family home and you've suddenly got 1, maybe 2 HMOs within a mile radius, good luck. You've lost 40, 50 grand. And that's the reality of the situation. So look, what are your thoughts? Do you think Roger Roadside is being dramatic? Do you think Roger Roadside is being too negative? Or do you think not enough is being done about the HMO fiasco? I know it rhymes and it sounds great, HMO fiasco, but it's shit. It really is shit. And for anyone who's stuck this long, look, 17 minutes, I appreciate you all. Thank you very much for sticking around. Please subscribe to the channel. Please like the video. Please get your comments in below. It does make a difference. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on the matter. And this is Roger Roadside saying thank you, be good to your mum, and I'll see you on the flippity flop.